The future of AI isn't just about building bigger models or dreaming up faster chips. Turns out it's actually being revolutionized by an idea that's over 100 years old, the assembly line. Sounds wild, right? Well, let's break down how this old-school concept is literally building our new world.
So let's start with a kind of strange question. What on earth can a dusty old factory teach us about the future of AI? But the answer? Well, the answer could unlock the next massive leap forward in technology. It's the difference between total chaos and streamlined order, between a handcrafted piece of art and industrial-scale production.
Because right now, building an AI system is, for the most part, an artisanal process. I mean, every single model is a custom job, like a mechanic building a one-of-a-kind car from scratch. It's powerful, sure, but it's also incredibly slow, super expensive, and you definitely can't mass-produce them. The parts from one project just don't fit the next one. It's a mess.
And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, what we're going to call AI's assembly line problem.
Okay, get ready for this number because it is staggering. Studies show that data scientists can spend up to 80% of their time just cleaning, organizing, and preparing data. That leaves only 20% of their time for the actual analysis, the part that actually creates value. It's just a colossal waste of talent and resources.
And this chaos, it has some really serious consequences. You get data trapped in different departments, what we call silos. The sales team might call someone a customer, but the app team calls that same person a user. So, are they the same person? Who knows? It's like a digital Tower of Babel, where nothing connects, leading to wasted effort and even worse, insights that are just plain wrong.
So how in the world do you fix a mess like that? Well, you need a blueprint. You need a universal translator that allows all of your data everywhere to speak the exact same language. And this is where we introduce a powerful concept called an ontology.
Now, the solution is something called an ontology. I know, it sounds super academic and complicated, but think of it simply as a master dictionary for your entire organization. It formally defines every single key concept, a customer, a product, a shipment, and most importantly, how they all relate to each other. With an ontology, every person and every system agrees to use the exact same words for the exact same things. Finally.
A fantastic real-world example of this is Palantir's Data OS. It basically works in 3 layers. First up, the semantic layer defines that dictionary of concepts. Then you've got the kinetic layer, which acts like the plumbing, connecting all those nice, clean concepts to the messy, real-world data sources. And finally, the dynamic layer adds your business logic, turning all that static data into a living, breathing system that can actually power decisions.
And let me be clear, this isn't just some neat data management trick. No way. This is the foundation for a whole new industrial revolution in technology.
And the industry is absolutely paying attention. The whole conversation has shifted. For the experts in the field, the debate is already over. The question is no longer if a business will adopt an ontology, but which one it's going to choose to build its entire future on.
So here's the absolute key takeaway, the parallel that makes it all click. Back in the 20th century, standardizing physical parts, simple things like nuts and bolts, unlocked the power of the assembly line. Well, today, standardizing data concepts through an ontology is doing the exact same thing. It's unlocking an assembly line for AI, automating data integration and analysis at a scale we have literally never seen before.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But is anyone actually doing this? You bet they are. These AI factories are already being built, and they are delivering some pretty incredible results across major industries. And what's really cool is that this isn't just about individual companies going it alone. Entire industries are actually collaborating on open standards. Finance, for example, uses something called FIBO to define universal terms for risk. Healthcare uses SNOMED CT, so a diagnosis in one hospital means the exact same thing in another one across the country. These are the shared blueprints that allow whole ecosystems of companies and their AIs to speak the same language.
Let's take manufacturing. This is where it gets really sci-fi. Companies are building digital twins, perfect virtual copies of their entire factories. By using an ontology to map every single machine, every sensor, every process, they can run simulations. The AI can then spot a potential failure in that virtual model before the real machine ever breaks down, saving them millions in downtime.
Or how about finance? Banks used to literally drown in paperwork for the Know Your Customer process.
Now, using an ontology, they can instantly connect dozens of global data sources into a single, unified profile to verify someone's identity, which slashes manual work and makes them way more compliant.
And in super high-stakes environments like defense, this is an absolute game changer. An ontology allows analysts to pull in satellite imagery, field reports, and sensor data all into one single unified picture. This means faster and, more importantly, better decisions when it really matters most.
But of course, just like with any revolution, the path forward isn't perfectly smooth. It's not all sunshine and roses. There are some pretty significant challenges to overcome.
Right now, the whole industry is kind of at a fork in the road. Do you go with a powerful but really expensive proprietary platform and risk getting locked into just one vendor? Or do you bet on open standards, which are way more collaborative but can sometimes be slower to mature? It's a tough call.
And beyond that big strategic choice, there are other hurdles. I mean, this stuff requires a huge upfront investment. There's a major shortage of people who actually have the skills to build these systems, and maybe the biggest obstacle of all is just plain old organizational inertia. Trying to get entire teams to change the way they've worked for years. That's always a tough one.
But even with these challenges, the momentum here is just undeniable. We are absolutely entering the age of assembly line AI.
If you need any more proof, just follow the money. The market for these technologies is projected to grow at a massive 23% every year, rocketing past $7 billion by 2030. This isn't some niche experiment. It's a major economic shift.
So if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. We are watching a fundamental shift from the artisanal age of AI to an industrial one. The future isn't about painstakingly building every single AI model from scratch. It's about rapidly assembling powerful AI services from standardized, reliable knowledge components.
And all of this leaves us with one final and really critical question. A century ago, the industrialists who owned the factories and the assembly lines, they reshaped society. So as we step into this new era, we have to ask ourselves, when intelligence can be mass-produced just like a car, who is going to own the factory blueprints?